Okay, this is the video. Again, I'm no expert on gun wraps. This is only the second gun I've ever wrapped. Um, but the more I do it, in my opinion, the nicer they begin to come out. What do you guys think? Let me know. What's up? What's up? What's up? But I'm gonna give y'all just a few pointers, just so if this is your first time, you won't have fuck ups like I had on my first time. I would say just get an X-Acto knife and don't skimp it and be lazy or be cheap. Just buy extra blades. Buy extra blades, cause literally, for the first time and for this time, about time I was done trimming and cutting that top slide piece and getting it perfect and trimming out the trimming on the slide and getting that real nice and neat on there. The knife was pretty much dull. Yeah, it was cutting still, but it wasn't that smooth cut that it was doing earlier on. So I'd say just get some extra blades, because that it's nothing worse. I wish I had the first gun I ever wrapped, and you would see just me forcing myself to continuously use that same blade on that Exo knife. That it was pretty bad. The second tip I would say, even though you have the knife, I would still have something else that's sharp. Whether it's some scissors, or I would just prefer scissors, honestly. A pretty sharp pair of scissors, because sometimes when you're lining these things up, you'll have like a tail or something that just shouldn't be there, and trying to get it off with the knife, you might scratch up the vinyl or the sticker, or whatever you want to call it, the wrap. So you can just go and take those scissors and snip that tail off, and then apply more heat to it. So yeah, I would suggest having scissors. You may not even use it, but I would thoroughly suggest having just some really sharp scissors around. Preferably not some bulky ones, because you want to get into those fine little tails on little areas to where you can cut it off. And of course, I don't know if I've said this already, but if I have, my apologies. I would say really clean the firearm at least 2 or 3 times to prevent any type of debris or like fine particulates, like you would be able to see it. Like, I still have a few on here, but on the first one, when I lazily cleaned the gun, it was noticeable. It was like a Nestle Crunch with a wrap on it. Like it was pretty bad, man. Seriously. So I would say, please put the time in and just clean the gun again. At least one more time, if not 3. My third tip is have something to help you work it in. It doesn't have to be a squeegee. It could be Mingo, Target gift card, pliable, flexible. Help you work some of those air bubbles out. But remember, when you're applying the skin, don't be too forceful on the gun unless it's already cooled off. Because if it's still warm while you're applying pressure and you're trying to get those I'd say the body lines to show on the gun, you could potentially damage the other side as you're forcing down. So I would say have like a squeegee or a credit card that you no longer need, or even cardboard. I know a guy that uses cardboard when he wraps his guns. And my fourth tip is having something like a sponge or styrofoam or something. When you heat these things up, as you've seen, it wasn't perfect. It got pretty melty in here. I had to eventually find my sponges that I bought for this. They were elusive, bro. I'm telling you, whenever I needed something, it's always missing. But you're applying that heat, then immediately after you apply that pressure with the foam, with your sponge, that'll really help you get that result you want. That'll really help you to get that result you want. You know, and that was just some stuff that was on the gun. It wasn't like a air bubble, but that'll really help you get the results you want. But again, do not be aggressive, pushing it down, because if this side is still hot, while you're forcing it down, trying to get those body lines to show through the vinyl, the wrap, there's going to be some aggressive markings on that side. I learned that the first time with the first gun. I had to rebuy another skin and redo it all over again, and still had some hiccups. But I would say having a sponge around, like, especially if you don't have like some big bulky like a high point or something, you got something that it's going to have some slide serrations and things of that nature that you might want to have showing, or just something simple as the handle to really bring that handle in. Put that heat gun on there. I know some people might use a blowtorch. Put that blowtorch on there and apply that pressure. Make sure the other side is kind of on the cooler side, so you're not killing the other side. And just apply a little bit of pressure. That's going to really help you get that desired effect you want, man. Seriously. And I think this is the last one. It's just taking your time and mapping it out, realizing what you have to do as far as trimming along the slide and the bottom, the polymer frame, grinding out these, and then this is the last one. It's just making sure everything functions correctly. Making sure everything functions correctly. After you do it, because I was having a few issues, honestly, with the mag release. I'm sorry, I was having issues with the mag release after I initially did this, and it was because I didn't carve out the mag release as good as I could have, and I was having a few failure to feed issues. But as I continue to carve, the ejection port and carve around and, really get it nice and neat, that goes back to take your time. As soon as I started to get it really nice and neat, that wasn't an issue anymore. But I'd say you might do 2 or 3 hours on putting a gun skin on if you really want it to look good. But even after that, I would say, with one clip constantly chambering rounds, shooting them out the port and making sure there's nothing catching up, and if it is, you might have to go in there with the knife again and touch some things up. Also, don't be afraid if it looks a little messy after touching it up. Don't touch it up when it's still warm. Let it cool off a little bit, and then touch it up. But once you've made the correction, put heat to it again. Sometimes it'll, without even adding any pressure to it, after applying the heat, it'll just correct itself. But if not, then that's when you'll go in and, touch up the things you need to touch up. If there's a little snaring or rippling on certain points, you go in there and touch it up. But I always let it cool off after like a correction, whether it's getting rid of a tail or you had to do a little bit more carving than you were expecting. Just let it cool off, because man, do these things just they do not cooperate when you're working on them and they're still warm. Even if it's just on the side you're working on, it is very, very, very uncooperative. Like I'm sorry, I've been up for like hours. I cleaned this gun multiple times, and it took me like 3 hours to put this on and carve it and get it exactly the way I wanted it. But here it is, man. If you got any more questions, drop them down, man. If I got the answer, I got you. And if I don't got the answer, I'll try to find it for you, bro. Let me know if y'all want me to, I got other guns that I'm finna put wraps on. you know, my first 3 to 4 guns, I said I was going to wrap them eventually. So I'm going to wrap my first 2 guns I ever had. You know, just to pretty them up, give me a reason to grab on them. As you see, I haven't touched this gun in like 6 months. Like this Glock 17. If y'all want me to drop a video on me actually doing a gun wrap, so you can see how strenuous it is for me, at least, because I'm no professional, but I'm showing you like, yo, a guy, his second time doing this is what he came up with. You know, no perfect plan. I planned it out a little bit, but I still had my few hiccups here and there. But it looks pretty fucking nice to me, bro. Let me know, y'all, if y'all want me to upload a video of whenever I do the next gun. I actually take it step by step with y'all, so y'all can see. You know, I might even bring out that damn tripod and set it up somewhere, and you know, just let me know. Just let me know, y'all. Again, take your time, enjoy it. Make sure you have a sponge or some styrofoam, something pliable like a credit card, a gift card, a squeegee, you know, to help you work out those air bubbles. X-Acto knife, extra X-Acto blades, please. That's a must, because that blade is gonna get so dull unless you're putting a gun wrap on like something small, like a Derringer or something. Get some extra blades, please, bro. I know you're probably like a butcher and you're like, I'll cut this thing. Get some extra blades, bro, please, bro. And just having a real sharp, kind of thin extra pair of scissors to help you get those tails off. That's something I didn't have when I was doing the first gun, and you could tell because I was really having to carve at those tails, you know, extra bits of vinyl or wrap that just wasn't going away. No matter what angle I got in there with the X-Acto knife, it just wouldn't go away. So just having an extra pair of thin scissors that can actually get in those grooves and snip. Of course, you're gonna need a heat gun, and of course, like I was saying earlier, clean the gun multiple times, please. You're only going to help yourself in the long run, and then dry it after you clean it. Yeah, just dry it after you clean. Like the second time you clean it, the first time you let it dry a little bit, and the second time after that you dry it yourself. Grab some of those, you know, little Hobbs wipes or even a microfiber towel, and you dry it off real good yourself, and get right to it, man. Don't be afraid to dedicate 2 hours to it. I'm not gonna blab too much longer, but let me know if y'all be interested. For the people that come across this video and seeing me drop a video wrapping another firearm instead of me just showing you the after product. Again, I'm no expert, but you know, maybe it'll give a person that was thinking about doing it the confidence to actually just say, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.